Connected to Josh has ThinkPad.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, good.
How are you?
Just making sure everything works. I'm good. How are you, Hong Chow?
Yeah, I'm good. It's just a little late night for me. Like I'm in the midnight now.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm looking over the agenda. I didn't really have much on the agenda today. Does everybody have the link to the doc? If you want to add anything in there. I know Thomas, I'd been chatting with him. He said he was out today, so I don't know if he's joining us or not.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
Karthik. Glasses, are you what's your name? Are you the one who's been contributing in Potato Head?
Yeah. We met briefly over at the open source summit. So
Yeah.
I meant to get around to trying to join one of these. Not sure. I figure I'd just be more of a lurker for the first call because I've never been on one, so I don't want to mess up the flow. But
Oh, no problem. Yeah, I've been there's some stuff to do in Potato Head. There's a few open PRs and issues there, so I'm hoping to take a look there soon. Famous last words. I know I've got a couple open PRs of my own, but if you want to take a look at any of those, it's great to have some help there.
yeah, I actually opened a PR yesterday or 2 days ago. It's a real nuanced thing. My GitHub username has uppercase letters in it, and that breaks stuff. So when trying to contribute locally, I've only contributed a few times previously, but I've done some stuff to make it work. And I thought, well, I should probably actually contribute that back.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I gotta check that out.
So I had a quick update on the chaos engineering work group. I know I've been absent here. The work group updates have not happened for quite a while. Apologies on that. I think some of us driving the work group charter were caught up in a few org changes. But the good news is that we are resuming the work group activities. The white paper, the next sections of the white paper that we wanted to fill out are being finalized at this point. And we also have a few new user interviews coming up from chaos practitioners in the community, which includes iFood and FIS. So some of those user stories will go into our work group repo and will make it into the white paper as well. So at this point, as we speak, we're just working with the broader team, which also comprises folks from the other chaos projects on how our next few sections should be covered in the white paper. What we have now is something like a basic refresher, but we want to basic refresher or introduction to chaos, but we want to add some more material in there. So I think this Friday we have our next work group sync up, where we'll probably add more to the agenda of the white paper and take it from there. So we should have a more positive update on the tag meeting the next time around. I think just wanted to pop in and say that we're sort of getting started once again.
Yeah, that's great news. I definitely identify. We're trying. There's a multi-tenant white paper which we've kind of been working on and off the past few months, and it's been a little hard to build momentum there. Can you paste the link to the? Is it a Google Doc, Karthik? Maybe
Yeah, let me share the repository. Let me just do that. Give me a couple of minutes.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess, so that's the, so you'll share that with us. Anything else? Karthik, do you want to talk about chaos engineering?
Not specifically. There are a few updates to the Litmus Chaos projects, which might be of interest to the AMP delivery community, which I'll probably add into the agenda as a very quick update session on what we're doing in the project. But otherwise, I just wanted to sort of pop in and say that we're sort of resuming the work group and what's coming up next. I'll share that in the Slack channel as well.
Cool. I guess on the topic of the working groups, I'll give a quick update on the couple things that are coming out of cooperative delivery. So multi-tenant paper I mentioned. I don't think I actually had COVID last week, so that's my excuse. I don't think we've made so much progress in the past couple of weeks, but I know that Alex Jones and I had made some contributions there in late July. So we'll continue iterating there. It's definitely, I've seen a couple articles out of Red Hat the past couple of weeks. There's definitely a lot of interest. So, we'll see if we can keep working on that. Another thing that I was just going to mention, I know that I've said that I'll write up the cooperative delivery, where we're going with that, why we have it, and try to build some momentum. I just wanted to mention, I've been thinking a lot like platform as product, all that kind of stuff that's been floating around the past year or so. And I feel like that when we formed the cooperative delivery group, it was kind of with that kind of thing in mind, how to coordinate platform capabilities with the applications that are being delivered so that, they're all in sync. At least that was kind of my thought. So that I just wanted to throw that as I'm thinking about how we might write an article about cooperative delivery. I've been thinking maybe we wrap it and couch it as defining and helping our users understand what a platform is and how you can integrate a platform with apps. That was just something I was thinking about.
Awesome.
So that's up to me to start to put a spike in the ground on that paper, and then I'll let you all know when I get to it and ask for your feedback. I think the only other thing that I was going to mention in this call, if there's no, it's not on the agenda, is that there's been some discussion recently in the talk, and I want to mention this because you all are here, and just to let people know that want to participate. We're trying, the talk reviews all of the projects coming in. And we've been discussing how the tags can better support the talk in that primary job of theirs. And one of the ways is to help them when there are projects coming in to understand whether they fit and how we can support them, if they don't. So I'm taking a little inspiration from that to get a little deeper into the particularly sandbox projects that we have, to understand them and, understand how we can support the talk. The Technical Oversight Committee, by the way, that's what I'm the group that leads the technical side of the CNCF. So I guess, yeah, I just wanted to share, like, if you all, are looking for ways to contribute, like that might be a place to start, or people looking for ways is to review the sandbox projects and have opinions on how they fit in to CNCF and how they support our users. I guess that's our mission. I think that's all for me. We don't have any projects scheduled to talk today. There was a follow-up from the Cloud Native PG group last time, and I think Thomas took that offline, so I haven't heard anything back. So I'm assuming that's okay. And the same thing with SRE Works, actually. Hong Chao, I think that might be with you. Also, Thomas said he would take care of that. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, of course. I talked to Thomas that I know these people, yeah,
Okay.
from Alibaba. Did you hear? Can you hear me? Yeah, I said that
Yes.
like, yeah, I know this those people personally, like from Alibaba. Yeah, I will take care of them. Yep, that's all.
Think so?
Cool. All right. See you next time.
I have
Alright,
like a
so
real
good.
random quick question. Do you all maintain that GitHub repo? It's a minor thing, but the time on that doesn't seem to match the time of this meeting. I only noticed because I was like, oh shoot, I have a conflict. I won't be able to join. And I happened to click through and I was like, oh, actually it's an hour earlier than what that link said.
I think yeah, they're due to the daylight saving time. Like the time is like changing sometimes, not consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like we're trying to fix that. The 8 a.m. Pacific time is the normal one. Yeah.
There's a way to subscribe to a notification. Let's see if I can, I'm trying to find it. It's like the CNCF community. I get a notification every like Friday that this meeting is coming up. Let's see if I can find it.
And I guess while you're looking for that, be curious if I was understanding what you're talking about, Josh, correctly, in that as things change in the platform and there's dependent applications that need that platform to change, is that kind of what you're talking about? Like if I upgrade to Kubernetes 122 and they remove certain APIs, that the application team has to have kind of their changes staged or whatever to deploy, their updated version of their ingress, let's say that was using an old API. Is that the kind of stuff that you're talking about? Or are you talking about something different?
I would say that's included. Let me paste in the charter.
Yep.
What we were originally kind of going for is even at the initial deployment, like when you deploy your app, you also have a lot of dependencies, service dependencies, identity, databases, observability. I mean, forget about computed network and stuff. And how do you coordinate that so that it's a seamless process? It's not like one guy deploys a platform, one person deploys an app, and then somebody else has to configure the bindings and things. But what you're saying is relevant too. Like, how do I, continuously deploy an app and continuously deploy the platform and keep them coordinated? So yeah.
Yeah, that's something that we always we're still relatively new to production workloads in Kubernetes, like about less than a year, I would say. But as we see more people on board at our company, there's definitely like, how do we ensure that we find things ahead of time and communicate that in advance? Like, hey, we're going to this version of Kubernetes and it's going to deprecate these APIs, and we see that you're running something that's using that API, so go ahead and make the change in your code in advance of that. And it's a little bit of a minor version of the problem, I guess.
I feel like I need to note that down. Yeah, that's like you're giving us a use case. You're giving us some good user feedback there. Like, one of the issues is, how do I update the platform and keep the apps, running alongside it?
Yeah, our solve for now has been a little bit messy, but we used kubedump to dump everything that's in the cluster out to YAML files on you're on someone's machine, and then we use Pluto to scan all those files and see, hey, does anything look like it's going to be broken in the next Kubernetes version? So it feels like those two projects could work together a little bit, so it's easier. But Or somebody could come up with a third project that kind of uses both or something.
That's pretty interesting. I mean, that's come up with OpenShift recently. It's where I'm spending most of my time these days. Where like before we do an upgrade, we will say we won't do it automatically because 124 deprecated these APIs, and we give some advice like here's how to discover like KubeCon will get API requests or something. I can't remember. And you can find out who's been using certain APIs or which ones are used. That's an interesting. Okay, I put it in our notes here. What was the tool you mentioned?
So we use KubeDump just to dump all of the YAML out of the cluster to a local file system. And then we use, I think it's Fairwinds is the name of the company that has an open source product called Pluto.
Okay.
I guess like a play on the fact that it's going away, you know, like the planet went away. So it's like, hey, these APIs are going to change or go away. That's
cool.
been helpful. Just a little tedious.
Do you so when you build a new cluster, I'm just curious, do you build it from manifests like GitOps style? You know, yeah.
Yeah, well, so
but that's
we
not the manifest from KubeDump, is there, right?
Yeah, we haven't gotten to a point where we're like replacing clusters. We're doing in-place upgrades. So yeah, I mean, everything we do is Terraform for IAC for provisioning, and then that bootstraps Flux, and then Flux does all the configuration for us. And then right now we have GitHub Actions is our primary way for people who are writing like engineered solutions to deploy to the clusters.
That's interesting, but you wouldn't feel confident like wiping out your cluster and starting it from scratch in like 6 hours.
We would, but there's nothing that stitches together today the engineered solutions, which is something that we're looking at like doing at some point of like, hey, if I do destroy this cluster and I rebuild it, can I also have it redeploy, you know, all the workloads? Which there's a couple different ways that we're looking at. That might be an option, but today it's been, hey, don't spend time on that. Just do your in-place upgrades and call it a day. We've had to do that. I think we've had to blow away a cluster once because something went real funky in Azure with it. But I mean, we blow away a sandbox cluster periodically to confirm that everything's still, our IAC and our Flux configuration as code still works, but we're not doing that to all of our other clusters with regularity.
Yeah, I think that's pretty interesting feedback. I put that in the notes. The GitOps folks might be interested in that too.
And actually, I should say that that's where we came across Potato Head, is we wanted some type of an app at the end of that. If we did a destroy or we do some upgrade or something, how do we ensure like something, you know, we can test something that's not engineered by somebody else. It's something that we kind of have, you know, control over and understanding of. So that's basically at the end of the cluster upgrade, hit Potato Head, like, oh, he's there, he's smiling. So we're good.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm taking that as you're using Potato Head as like a canary in the coal mine kind of thing.
Exactly. Yep.
Makes sense.
I just want to pitch in here. We are doing that as well. I think Potato Head is one of the popular apps here. One of the first things that goes into any newly configured cluster.
Nice.
Wow, that's great. That's great to know that. Okay, we need to pay a little more attention. Yeah, get those PRs in and stuff.
Thanks for that link there. I see that.
All right. Hey, Amy, how's it going?
Hey, I'm just
I think
dropping
we're
in.
about to wrap up.
Nope, no worries. I've been mostly like I wanted to be able to come just drop in. That's all.
Yeah. So
I see something about how like the fixed time on app delivery meeting, like it's the very last thing in here. What's up?
I think it was Palaces that brought that up. That
Okay.
We're off by an hour. So
Oh.
off by one. I was trying to find a community page. That's
So what I
it's
see
on.
down here is basically like at the bottom, it says like the 1600 UTC, which might have been correct, maybe.
I only pointed it out, Amy, because I wanted to join this meeting and I saw that link and I thought, oh shoot, I have a conflict at that time in my time zone. But then I went ahead and still clicked through and found, oh, it's actually an hour earlier than what the
Oh.
GitHub link said. So I was like, I can join, great. But I was like, oh, I probably should mention that.
Yeah, no, that's actually quite compelling. And here's a better link for like where this is listed on the calendar.
Nice. I knew
Yeah.
we had something. Something.
This is actually kind of new. So, but yeah, this is like the workaround for adding the CNCF public calendar to your calendar is a very, very bad idea. Adding like these links, this is a little easier. So
Here,
there.
I found the one I was looking for. I'm gonna paste it in the what you pasted too, Amy, in the. But I also have this thing that I have been using recently. It's actually Thomas set this up, and it's actually been kind of working for me. It's you sign up for that group, and it sends you a notice, like on Monday or Friday or something before the next meeting.
That's very handy.
Mhm.
Neat.
So then at least I know I'm in sync.
No, good. Okay, all right. I'm glad I dropped in then. Giving small little joys. Excellent. Okay, perfect. Oh, yeah, the community CNCFIO, that is a meetup page, kind of.
I know,
Okay.
right?
Oops, sorry.
But
let me-
but it works. So I mean, I also said to Thomas, I'm like, I don't think that's where we're really supposed to be, but it has been working.
I mean,
That's
so
good.
we created those groups to be able to see if people wanted to be able to use them. That was kind of in a time when like we were having like tons of Zoom bombing problems, just like all
Oh.
over. And so like this is basically your backup.
Okay,
uh,
okay, so for the one you did.
No, like you did fine, like as far as like the keeping the community page like super handy and all of that. But for the moment, like people are mostly like GitHub and Zoom. But should we come back into a space where like there's plenty of Zoom bombing, this is how to be able to resolve that.
Cool.
Yeah, all good.
Okay, so I think we're good here today. Anyone want to talk about anything else? Okay. We'll shut it down. I'll try to ping Tom. I'm talking to Thomas tomorrow, so I'll ask him to post this on YouTube, make sure we're aligned there.
All right, rock and roll. Good to see you all.
Yeah.
Thanks. Nice
Bye.
meeting you all.
Get back to work.
Good.
Bye.
Bye.
Work.
Bye.